Yes, we are. Welcome into Coach Prime's playbook with the man, the myth, the legend, Coach Prime.
I feel underdressed and I'm not happy about it.
You know what?
I had no idea.
I'm in the presence of a GQ sports style, not just a Hall of Famer, inaugural class.
Look at this.
I think they might have made that Hall of Fame for you. So I was like,
killing the game, ladies and gentlemen.
I got to dress to impress. You know, I couldn't.
You're doing it. You're doing the doggone thing.
But I like this green. Well, I appreciate it. You know, that means a lot. You know, GQ Hall of Famer. A Hall of Famer in a lot of ways, and now he's done a whole lot of things, Coach. But a new thing coming up this Saturday, and that's of course you have coached a first game before, but now you're first as the head coach of these Buffaloes. What are your emotions?
I can't say and I can't detect right now because I'm not there. You got to understand, I played on, World Series and Super Bowl, so I'm not gonna say it's not at that level, but this is a whole new thing. It's like a whole new chapter. You go from prime time to prime, to Coach Prime, and that's where I am right now. I'm in the third quarter of life, and I absolutely love it, and I love the young men inside this locker room.
That is beautiful. Well, I gotta tell you, this team is energized, this fan base is energized, Colorado's energized, we've got Buffs fans sprouting from all over the place. I'm curious, Coach, if you can kind of take us inside the locker room with the players. They've heard that outside noise, right. 3.5 wins, a 20-point spread going into this game. They don't care about that. They chomping at the bit though.
They don't care. They don't care about that because most of them weren't here, so they don't identify themselves with that. But one thing that they do, they came here for the light. They came here for the action. They came here for the hype. They came here to be just groomed to get ready for the NFL and for life and to be men. These guys want it. And I love every bit of it. When I tell you they want it, they want it. We had a meeting right in this room this morning. It wasn't, usually I lead and I give them an inspirational. And I say, no, you guys tell me what you need to do to win. And they just was naming point after point after point. I said, okay, well, let's start today in practice. Everything you just told me you're going to do, I want you to do in practice. And that's how the day went. Wonderful practice today.
That's incredible. You love to hear it. Oftentimes, I hear coaches say, you lead, you give these guys the tools, but player-led teams are the most powerful teams, and leading the helm is a guy you might know kind of well, number 2, I think similar last name, I'm not sure. But with him, we see the football IQ, we see the skill. But when it comes to being a quarterback, you got to be, that dude. Can you give us an example of how Shador is that guy?
He rocks steady. Yeah. His temperament is right there. In my phone, he's up on the number 2, then he's up on the grown. Because he's always been mature. He's always been a grown man ever since he was a young lad. So he's a bona fide leader. He knows his stuff. He knows what he wants. He knows the personnel he wants. He knows the defense that they're going to present him with. And he doesn't make a lot of mental mistakes. And his patience gets really thin, just as mine, as the week grows on. As we get closer and closer to the game, he's not going to allow routes one step too long or ball placement in the wrong place. He's going to do what he needs to do to get us to the next level.
Is that, in a sense, a little bit of a luxury to have a quarterback that you can just say, you lead your team in that way?
Well, you know it. It's good to have a quarterback that you know his strengths and you know what he likes to do. You know what gets him going early on. And that's great. That happens to be your son too, and you know what buttons to push.
Yeah, which is great. We love to see it. We cannot wait. Of course, coming up Saturday. Oh, we're just waiting. We can't sleep. We can't sleep. That brings us to who's next, and who is next? Well, it is the defending runner-up. I don't know if that's like a title you can give someone, but it is the defending runner-up TCU Horned Frogs. Sure.
That guy is authentic, and I love who he is. I love what he stands for, what he did to that SMU program. You got to understand, I was coaching high school, so we had a lot of guys, being looked at for SMU and so forth, and what he did with that program, and to go to TCU, Coach of the Year, and to just take that school to a whole nother level is unbelievable. So I have a lot of respect for that man, and he will have that team ready.
When you look at that team, Coach Dyke's team, what's the biggest challenge you think they present?
Well, they have quite a few guys still left on the team that were winners. They tasted victory. We know what happened in the conclusion of the championship game, but these guys shocked the world. They shook up everything, and they came from behind a plethora of times last year, and they did what was unthinkable, unfathomable, and these guys remember that. So they have a locker room immersed with winners, and I like that.
That's exciting.
I like that challenge.
This is going to be a fun matchup. I can't think of a better one. Now I'm even more excited for this matchup. One thing I don't know if I'm thrilled about, though, is this Texas heat. We got to take a break, but coming up, I'm going to get some tips from Coach Prime on how we're going to handle this humidity.
Hydrate.
I'm not built for this.
Hydrate.
That's next. be hot. It's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot.
For those players, how do they handle that heat for that long of a span of time?
Well, we started to hydrate them even last week.
Okay.
Like I put signs on everything in the cafeteria, water and Gatorade only.
Okay.
You know, we got to make sure they get it. You can't wait till a couple days before the game and start saying, I'm going to hydrate now. And some of the things that we're doing on the sideline to keep them cool, it's going to be good. But you got to understand now, we practice in altitude as well.
Sure.
So we have a kind of an advantage as well.
You know, it's funny because I bumped into Uncle Neely and he said,
Yeah.
no, I lived in that, I grew up in that, and you don't get used to it.
No, you don't get used to it, but I tell you what, this is a secret. The team that's always losing is always the team that's tired.
Okay,
The team that's winning they never tired.
that's true.
They never, you never see guys cramping up on the team that's winning.
Yeah.
You used to always see the guys cramping up on the team to get
Right.
the butt kicked. So we hope to be that team on the upside,
Without getting too into the weeds or into the game plan, though, do you feels like depth is going to be an important thing as these guys can get a little bit of rest, be confident in the depth of this team?
Yeah, but execution is going to be important.
Sure.
You got two offenses that pride themselves on tempo.
Yes.
Tempo. So we've been practicing tempo. They've been practicing tempo. But the thing about it is depth. Like they said, they inherited a lot of players from the SEC or just college football, Power Fives as well as we did. Mm-hmm. And you're right about depth in some positions, certain positions. But it's normally those skilled positions that starts to cramp up. You rarely see the big guys, going down with cramps unless they fall to stop the clock.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was just
gotta catch your breathing.
Yeah, that's the inside
Great,
joke. That was
great.
funny.
Oh.
You may see that, but anyway.
I'm not in on the inside joke, but I still
Right.
think it's funny. I like it anyway. An interesting thing, this is totally out of pocket here. Did you know that a horned frog is not a frog?
I don't even know what a horned frog is.
It's a lizard.
A horned frog is a lizard?
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, you spent a lot of time in Texas. Did you ever see one of those?
No. The only thing I see in the summer is grasshoppers.
Okay.
Yeah, they take over. They take over everything. But I love it because I'm a bass fisherman. So you just get into one of your 4x4s and just run up to the bank, and they just jump. They run away from the 4x4 side by side and just run in the lake, and the bass have a great time. So that's the only thing I'm aware of in Texas.
All right. So you've been obviously Hall of Famer, NFL player, baseball player, played in World Series.
Mm-hmm.
In retirement, is there like a third pro sport? Are we gonna be like bass fisherman?
Bass fishing. Yeah, I have a couple lakes on property, and I
okay.
love bass fishing.
Okay.
I really
What do you
do.
like about it?
The peace and serenity and the challenge.
Yeah.
I'm an athlete. I gotta have a challenge. You know that. So I can't just meander off into the sunset. I gotta have some type of challenge, and just bass fishing is a tremendous challenge.
I feel like you talked about those like little motivational speeches you give the
Yeah.
players every morning, and lucky for us, you post them on social, and it's like these are my morning mantras. But is there anything you've taken from bass fishing that you apply to coaching or football?
No, I hadn't, but it's a great metaphor, especially with choosing the correct bait to lure the bass in order to catch, and the water temperature and the height and it's so many things that I could translate into it, but I haven't used bass fishing as of yet.
I feel like Travis Hunter is the perfect bait.
Now Travis loves bass
Oh,
fishing.
does he?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. We have a few guys on the team that think they could get old coach. They think they could beat me.
But they can't.
Yeah.
Okay, I like this. Look at this. Maybe I'll have to start a bass fishing
Yeah,
league.
but this area is
Coming
not
up
known.
next.
This area is not known for.
I know.
It's like trout
Okay.
and other things.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll get a bass fishing league coming up in
That'd
the
be
off
nice.
season.
I would like that.
We're going to take a quick break. We got a lot more coming up here with Coach Prime, but first we got to catch up on today's news and weather. Well, welcome back into Coach Prime's playbook. Time now for the final whistle. We play the whistle here on Coach Prime's playbook because we know that's the only acceptable thing, right?
That's right.
So this has been incredible. I mean, we got a gold jacket here, but then all these gold jackets coming in Warren Sapp, Michael Irvin,
Relationships.
Oh.
Relationships.
What do you hope the players get out of it?
First of all, you got to introduce these young men to success. Sometimes they've never seen success up close, and then they could catch them in the cafeteria, the training room, and the weight room, and then ask them personal questions about how did you do this, how did you overcome this adversity, how did you do this, and these guys are 100% honest, and they have so much inside of them, and they're never in the realm to give it. Like Warren Sapp has so much inside of him, but rarely does he come across defensive linemen that he can just give all this information to, as well as Mike and Tio and so forth.
So is this one of those things, obviously I know you have close relationships, are they asking you to come out, you asking them to come out?
No, they want to come. Sometimes I would ask them, oftentimes they would just reach out. That's not, the list goes long. I mean, it's entertainers, rappers, celebrities, television stars. It's a conglomerate of people that wants to stop by and stop in.
Coach, I'm curious, is this one of those things that when you were in college, was this something that you thought, man, that'd be great to have? So
No, it wasn't like that. Like I wish I could have had someone that I could just say, okay, I gotta be that. So I took bits and pieces of people that I never touched, never saw. You know, I never saw Ali. I never saw Hank Aaron, Dr. J. I never saw these young men that I wanted to emulate or imitate. Never saw them, never met them until I was deep during their in retirement. But just to have these guys on board, man, it's unbelievable. That hearing the conversations from these young men, and it's not all about football. The majority of it is about life.
That's beautiful. Well, lucky for these players, and even for us. Now I got somebody that I want to emulate right here across from me. Coach, thank you so much for joining us today. Cannot wait to do this all season. Good luck.
I appreciate you, and you keep on killing the game.
All right. I got to impress the Hall of Fame.
Are you going to be there?
We will be there.
You coming?
We're coming. Absolutely.
You're supposed to say we coming.
We coming. Excuse me. We coming.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
We'll be there.
All right.
We'll see you guys in Texas.